I, Vampire number 8, written by Joshua Hale Fialkov and art by Andrea Sorrentino. This is part 4, aka the finale of the Rise of the Vampires crossover. And last issue, Justice League Dark number 8, had Andrew coming back from the dead. That was pretty much all that really needed to happen. Andrew came back from the dead in a weird, magic-y way. And that's where we pick up, of him just showing up in front of Kane, and he's like, hey, I'm back. And Kane's like, all right, fine, let's fight. Let's do this. You against my army. And immediately, Andrew just raises his arms, and he's like, I'm going to turn your entire army to dust. And he just does so. All of the vampires just crumble into dust, and everyone's looking on like, you can do that? Since when have you had that power? What's going on here? And specifically Constantine and Xander were like, we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's still good enough to take on Kane. And so Kane tries to go on mano-a-mano against Andrew, but just absolutely no fight for him at all. He just blasts him away. And Kane's like, what happened to you when you were dead, man? And Andrew tells him that he's been made into Kane's equal and opposite. So whereas Kane was trying to destroy the world, Andrew is going to build a new one. And Kane's like, you kill your own kind, you're a traitor. He's like, yeah, you know what, I was. But here's the thing, I thought of something new. See, I've been playing by the rule book that has been presented to me in life, but now I'm thinking I have enough power that I can just make a new rule book. So he takes all the dust of all the vampires that he just made and creates them again. He remakes an army of vampires, but now working for him. And he's like, see, I was a traitor, but now I guess you could call me a patriot. And every single person who's there watching, Justice League Dark and Tig and John, they're all like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Except for Mary, who's like, oh yes, this is all I've ever wanted. So Mary goes up to Andrew, and he immediately starts apologizing. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry for everything that I've done. I've seen the error of my ways. Let's make out. And they start going at it. Like, they go at it hard. And then they turn on Kane. They just straight up start attacking him and tearing him limb from limb. And he's just like, oh, I'm a primordial evil. You cannot defeat me. And he's like, maybe not. But you know what? It's going to be fun to try. And he's an angel now. Andrew has 6 wings, all of them bat wings, mind you, but 6 wings and a giant sword, and he comes down and just slashes the head off of Kane. And immediately Xanadu starts explaining, yeah, so in the last issue when I made that deal with the Crystal Buddhist thing to move the magic from Kane into someone else, it went over to Andrew, because I thought he would be good enough to not raise his own army of vampires. Oh, we've just traded a big bad for a bigger bad. And John, he's like, I know Andrew. He's up to something. There's no way he's just going back to Mary. And Tig's like, yeah, well, he's trying to eat her alive through her mouth. So as soon as Mary turns and says, all right, kill all the humans, let's go ahead with the original plan, Andrew shuts her down, tells her, nope, our secret's been let out. That's enough for one day. We're going to build from the shadows, and we're going to do that. In fact, you know what? I think I have enough power. Let me see if I can do this. And he just wishes all of their memories of all the people who were attacked today away. Nobody remembers anything about the vampires, except for the Justice League Dark and his 2 comrades, obviously. And Tig specifically says, like, how come I remember everything? And she's like, well, it was all your fault, so maybe you should remember. So Andrew gets the army together with Mary and says, all right, we're going to go build an empire of vampires, but we're doing it my way this time. And John steps up like, you can't be serious. And he's like, hey, I need you to do something for me, John. Wink, wink. And John's like, oh, come on, man. Don't make me do that. We'll get to it. So all the vampires start leaving. The Justice League Dark gets in Andrew's way, and they're like, hey, you are now leader of a vampire horde. We will stop you. You understand that, right? And he's like, here's the thing. You guys just got out of a really tough fight, and I don't think you're in any situation to fight me and all the same people again, especially considering I'm even more powerful than Kane was. So I promise that I'm going to be different. we'll see how that goes. But how about for now you get out of my way? And Constantine promises that if he ever does step out of line, crosses the line, that there will be a sun with his name on it. So we cut over to Tig and John, and they're like, okay, so Andrew's evil? And John's like, no, he's planning something, but I'm not sure what it is. But for right now, Andrew wants me to go talk to the Van Helsings, the vampire hunters. And they are even worse than the vampires. Like, they're just awful people. So let's go do that. And then, of course, Tig ends on the final page here of, well, at least we killed Cain, and he's definitely not going to come back, right? As we see what I believe is the body of Cain reforming behind them. So, yeah, that's still on the table. So Andrew is God. He is able to do whatever the hell he wants now. He has turned back to lead the vampire army. I'm loving this turn in character. Like, honest to God, I know this was more of an iVampire event than it was a Justice League Dark event. They were just kind of there for it, but this feels like a great turning point in the story of iVampire so far. Like, the entire first arc was him saying, okay, I'm not going to be a vampire. I'm not going to do that thing. But now, going into this, what I guess you would consider the second arc, he's like, no, I am a vampire, and I'm going to do it better than anyone has ever done it before. And that's super interesting to me. I'm very much down for that. So overall, I give this issue an 8. My only major critique is that the big bad by the end of it was just kind of like, whatever. He's gone. They just had his own army attack him and tear him apart. He didn't really seem like that big of a threat, all things considered. In fact, I don't even know what he really did over the course of this event. He hucked some vampires at some innocent people, but he himself didn't really do much of anything. So that's my only real critique with this event as a whole, and this issue specifically. But the art, fantastic. I love the way it's turning Andrew now. Solid all around. So 8 for this, and I look forward to what comes up in iVampire number 9. I will say that this issue did direct me to say that something's going to happen in Justice League Dark number 9 that relates to this. So we'll see what happens when we get there as well.